The war had ended 5 years ago, but the scars ran deep across the galaxy. Ships no longer fired across sectors, but distrust remained embedded in treaties and silences. The Zan Dominion had collapsed after its brutal invasion campaign was crushed by the Allied forces, of which humanity had been the least expected yet fiercest contributor. Captain Elara Voss remembered the screams. She remembered the abandoned planets. The Zan had raised worlds and conscripted species, but when defeat came, they vanished, leaving behind ruins and children. Her ship, the Artemis Warden, was charting what had once been Dominion-controlled space. A routine scan brought them to a desolate moon called Galactic. A signal weak, erratitude, been bouncing for weeks. Most ignored it. Elara didn't. The landing was quiet. Too quiet. What they found inside the bunker wasn't weapons or old data cores. It was 22 alien children scared, starving, and very much alive. Their skin was translucent, their eyes too big for their heads, glowing faintly in the dim light. These were Zan, not soldiers, not warlords, just children, no older than 5 Earth years. Lieutenant Ramirez had his hand on his blaster. Captain, there's on. Orders are to. Lower it, Elara said, stepping forward. One child reached for her hand without hesitation. That single moment rewrote everything. Word of the orphans spread like wildfire. Across the interstellar accord, opinions clashed. Some saw the rescue as a violation of war treaties. Others hailed it as the first act of post-war peace. But Earth opened its doors. Governments objected, but the people responded with action. Doctors from Nairobi to New Tokyo volunteered to help. Teachers in orbiting stations offered language programs. Families offered to foster them. The galaxy watched in confusion. Why would humans, the species, once seen as too emotional, too volatile, take in the spawn of their enemy? Because humans remembered their own orphans, from Hiroshima to Aleppo, from Ice Age caves to spacefaring cities. They knew loss, and they knew how to love what others feared. Years passed. One of those children, now called Kale, stood before the Galactic Assembly. His skin was still faintly luminescent, but he wore a Terran-made neural translator and a blazer stitched in blue and silver. I speak today not just for the Zan orphans, but for what we can become, he said, voice steady. My name is Kale Voss. My mother is Captain Elara Voss of Earth. I am Zan by birth, human by heart, and I stand here as proof that peace is not just possible, it is inevitable. Many scoffed, many clapped. One delegate from the Volari Confederacy whispered, "The humans are playing a long game." They were right, but not in the way they thought. By the time Kale turned 20, others followed his path. The Zan foundlings, as they were once called, had integrated, excelled, and led. They became engineers, linguists, mediators. Their empathy was deep, their memories long, their loyalty unshakable. And all of Team very last one called themselves human. The other galactic species weren't ready for that. Not for a new generation raised on stories of Earth's resilience, its flaws, its strength, and its compassion. Not ready for former enemies to call their home Terra. Not ready for the idea that humanity didn't conquer with weapons, but with kindness that endured. The final message in Cal's address was short but unforgettable. They left us behind to die, but humans came for us. You wanted to know what kind of future that creates. One you are not ready for, but one will build anyway.